Hey there guys, and welcome to another Factorio Friday Facts discussion number 236, and I am joined by Scarhoof as always.
Hello, everyone.
How are you doing?
Good. It's the
Good.
weekend.
It's the weekend, woohoo! So this one is really interesting. You were saying you were actually totally confused on what it was about until the end.
Yeah, you're not supposed to skip these. Apparently, you're supposed to actually read them, I guess. I don't
Darn
know.
it, man.
I know.
Gotta actually read. So building a roll-up. First off, this is... I'm just going to give it away now so people aren't confused the whole time. This is for essentially building a big poster, big banner, roll-up banner.
Yeah, for like a conference or a
Right.
get-together or something like that.
So, they're going to use it in their PAX East visit here in the next week. So they're going PAX East.
Wide and 2 meters tall. This thing is big.
This thing's huge, man. Because a meter is almost 3 feet or something, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So this is all written by V, and you'll see why soon. So they needed some prints to show off at the booth, and they thought we could have a big mega high resolution render of the player character or some other entity, but that doesn't really show what the game's actually about. They wanted an actual factory. So the first obvious hurdle is that you need a save game to take a screenshot of. So you go and try to take a bunch of random saves on your disk and open them and find that it's not so easy to find a factory which would look nice. Such a factory needs to show enough of the various things to represent the game, can fit the logo somewhere, and must be large enough to fit this size at 150 DPI taken at zoom 2. So they kind of show the roll up here. Roll 1, 2, 3 with the Factorio logo. And luckily, I just had a save game which was easy to adapt to those requirements, but I would like to ask the question, how does one build such a factory in general? That's what I've been trying to figure out for a long time now. As some of you may have already noticed, I enjoy constructing very organic factories, a part of which eventually turns into a crazy mess, a mess as crazy as Factorio itself, representing what your brain will look like after playing.
Mm-hmm.
So this, just as a quick background, because some people still may be confused, so this base is built by V, and about a year or so or more ago, myself and Colonel Will joined V, and he gave a base tour of this. There's a video on my channel about this, about his first base, and you'll see what he means. It's one of these screenshots is actually of it. He built some ridiculous bases. You can see
this
here.
is one of the cooler bases I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Some of these things he builds.
This is what we wish Spaghetti Western would have been.
Yes, exactly. And it's good he talks about this because it is actually a lot more difficult than you would think to build a base like this. I mean, as you just said, we didn't really succeed in it to this scale.
Mm-hmm.
So it is actually quite difficult to build a base like this on this scale.
And especially once you've played the game a little bit and you kind of know how everything goes together and the optimum spacing and all that other stuff, you tend to leave enough space for the future. But that first time you play, you have no idea how much room you're going to need, and that's how you can end up with awesome bases like this.
Yeah, so you kind of have to reinstate that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to find a good opportunity to be a bit more specific and see a few examples to put it in more context. So building for big screenshots. It's year 2015, and pretty much every factory I had built so far eventually arrived to the problem that in order to expand it, I would have to severely modify or destroy large portions of it. I hate to just throw away all the work you did, so the outcome would usually be that I just stop playing the map. So example 1, codename Messfort. Once I made a factory that was my largest so far, I used Bob's productivity modules level 7 with a stupid amount of productivity bonus possible to put into any recipe without decreasing the speed of the machine. So he just threw in some Bob modules there. I like it. This alone, it may sound ridiculous, but what it did was allow me to focus on just having fun, adding more and more things to the factory while caring about throughput much less, especially in situations where I could just add better modules to existing factories. Leaving more ingredients for other things, allowing me to build even more production lines. Sooner or later, the furnace area would just not be enough, and expanding on the spot would be a pain, so we started a new dedicated factory just for smelting, like mini factories do. Trains brought the necessary things, and later on I added another factory for circuits, and the factory kept being happy. Eventually I dropped under 40 UPS and didn't want to continue anymore. It's worth mentioning that there was no space science or infinite research back then, so there was little incentive to continue. So there's that. And then discoveries. is mixed belts. So, different items on belts, like sushi belts, are a huge amount of fun to work with and add more visual variety. Did we
with
do
that.
any like sushi belts in Spaghetti Western? I don't think we did.
No, I don't think we did.
Okay. Automating as many different recipes as feasible and one step towards a nice looking base. Example 2, codename Space Science Base. In the second half of 2016, I started a new factory learning from the past discoveries. I wanted to embrace the concept of replacing production lines for intermediate with train stations which import these items. Producing the intermediates, however, required a large rail system outside the main belt cluster. This gave the factory a lot more expandability, and I had spent more time on this map, 160 hours, than any map before.
160 hours. That filthy casual.
Yeah, come on, man. You noob. I do that in one sitting. Like all nice things, the amount of effort directly influences how nice the result is going to be. As with the outer train network expanding, the main base also continued to grow. Discoveries having rails inside the factory adds a lot of depth by breaking the monotonous assembly machine plus belt mess, which I definitely agree. And then pipes and oil-related entities are awesome to have in the base so that everything is not in an assembly machine. And I think I want to say this is the factory he gave a tour of, or maybe it was the one above. I know one of these is, but I don't remember exactly. I know there were trains in it, so I think it's the second one.
I think it's the one that he has the screenshot of, or that he actually ended up using for the poster, right?
Because that's a newer one.
Oh, is it? Okay. I seem to remember the trains all kind of coming in from the left and kind of splitting off in weird ways.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure. That's why I think the second one kind of has it like that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so in the following several months, or example 3 and 4 codenames Train Maze and more, I could start a new maps with different factories and different concepts, but each time something just wasn't going in the right direction, eventually I would recognize that it's not the one and lose interest in it.
Am I the only one getting triggered that he built over the coal?
It was hard to notice, but now that you pointed out, it is really annoying.
You're welcome.
That just makes it worse, man.
I'm here to ruin everything for you.
Yeah, thank you for that. So he got to a point where he was thinking maybe it's just a matter of luck, and I only made the space science base look awesome by accident, as he couldn't deliberately achieve the same thing again. What are the differences from the other two? For example, disabling batters or minimizing military moves, many recipes to automate and easily leads to a less interesting factory. Too many straight and rectangular patterns just look visually uninteresting. Preparing all setups for beacon rows from the beginning for a lot of straight perpendicular lines, horizontal production rows and machineries generally look better than vertical columns, but having some vertical columns is a good variety. So like this one down here, it's a bit spaghetti, but it's definitely not as like visually catching as these other ones.
Yeah.
Because it's built more in like rows and
with beacons and all sorts of other stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
It's interesting that he says that the vertical columns aren't as good looking as horizontal. And now that I look at the screenshot, I'm like, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe it's just the angle. Maybe it's the angle that we're looking at. Because we're not looking directly down on top. We're looking at like a 15-degree angle or something. Or maybe it's more like 30-degree. But it's got to be the angle where things are kind of overlapping slightly to kind of squishes them down.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, that is a good point. It does kind of look a bit off. So yeah, I believe a part of the problem was how I focus on efficiency by preparing for whole rows of beacons for everything, especially vertical ones, or how I separated the oil and rail-related entities from the core of the main factory. So example 5, gridlock. So eventually I started a new map with all those things in mind. I made a rough plan for myself what I would like to end up with and then tried to follow it. The rail system would be extremely expandable. It used both single and dual-headed trains for variety. That sounds like a nightmare. The main factory would automate literally every single recipe in the game, and I would try to keep things as organic as possible. I could have tried harder to put more pipes and nuclear-related entities in the middle of the factory, perhaps next time, I guess. So there's a bit of a time lapse. You can see it grow, which I actually haven't had time to watch this, but I'm really interested in it. If you want to watch that...
it's only 37 seconds.
Oh,
there's music. I'm gonna turn down the music. I'll just have it play while we can talk.
I wonder if I don't know if I want to. Last time I played a video in here, my video got flagged.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm not
it's a
so sure.
Factorio video.
It is a Factorio.
What's it affect?
Is the music like something you recognize as copyrighted?
I turned it off immediately.
Okay, well then I'll do that. We'll play it for 30 some odd seconds here and watch it together.
Wow. This is really cool. I like seeing the whole thing go together and all of the smoke go in different directions and stuff.
Wow, this is awesome.
Did he just change a whole bunch of terrain? He totally cheated right there at the end.
I'm not there yet. I think they changed the terrain. The train maybe for the screenshot. I think because they mentioned that farther down.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, you did. Dude, that's so cool to watch.
I would love the ability to change his terrain, even if it's like a super expensive factory.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That would be really cool. When I was building, I saved over 300 iterative versions of the map. The time lapse is then created by taking a screenshot in each of those saves, and post-production they are blended together so it looks smooth. That sounds like quite a bit of work.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that we need a screenshot of these dimensions just shortly before the logo appears on the map. You can see that not much had to change except all the terrain. So yeah, they changed it for the screenshot. Under the whole screenshot area was manually reworked in the map editor. This gave me a bunch of ideas of what we need to do to make the map editor better, both for our use with scenarios and campaign and for our players. So that's really cool. Yeah.
So all of this, finally something for the players comes out of it, which is really cool. I mean, it's that's kind of the way it works, though, right? Mm-hmm. The players might complain about something specific until the devs actually start playing it themselves. Right. Because it's one thing to like play test it, but it's another thing to just play it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize, oh, this kind of sucks. We need to fix this.
Yeah, exactly. So that's super cool. I look forward to those changes. If you're interested in reading more about how the base works or downloading the save game, you can proceed to the Imager album here, which he links. Here's a screenshot of it. This is just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So the final result is a trio of rollups totaling 3 meters in width and 2 meters in height. So that's like 9 feet by 6 feet ish, give or take.
Yep.
It's huge. This whole thing has been quite an experience for me. Building a factory and doing my own filling is great, but building a factory, sitting down with Albert, our art director, thinking how to improve the general visual composition of it, making it fit requirements, etc., was just outright amazing. Just the part where I needed to put the logo and remove a bunch of the train stations, cut many belts, and reconnect them was a very cool challenge. If I started again, I would have probably done a few things differently, but something would probably be wrong if I didn't feel like that. Overall, I must say I'm quite satisfied with the result. And this poster looks pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you're walking by, this is going to catch your attention. Like, instantly.
Yep.
Which is pretty crazy. And somewhere, dang, did we miss it? Or did he, maybe he messaged me this, or it was in the something. Somewhere I read that his factory does like over 1,000 science a minute or something. I could have sworn we read that here. Because I made a post about it. And maybe I just like pulled it out of thin air. I'm pretty sure he said that. So it's really cool that like with this like, kind of mess is that he's able to actually do that amount of stuff. So this is super awesome. And then I just want to add too that actually he's going to give a base tour with me as well for this factory here in the next day or so. And it'll probably go out Sunday. So if you want like a base tour, without looking yourself, like a video and stuff with him explaining all the stuff, then definitely keep an eye out for that. But actually, I'm really frustrated. I know I saw that somewhere. Dang it. But yeah, so I don't know, man. This is like, I just can't even imagine building a factory like this. I would have to like physically, like really strain myself to force myself to build like this.
Yep. It's really cool though. I think the only thing I'm not seeing on here is like a biter attack in like somewhere. A biter attack with like the flamethrowers going off would be kind of cool, like down in the left corner.
Oh, that would be sweet, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That's true. That would be really cool. So yeah, this is super cool. Definitely should attract some attention. And something else I want to mention, they did do a separate blog post, but I'll mention it in this video because I'm not going to make a video of the other one. But it is important, a PSA, that they are very soon here raising the price of the game. So it's currently $20 US, whatever equivalent elsewhere. They're going to be raising it to $30 after the 16th of April. So you have until the 16th of April for it to be what is currently $20 if you want to get it or get it for a friend or a gift or whatever. But just a PSA that, they are going to be raising it. It's only $10 more. I think $30 for Factorio is still like an insanely good deal.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like Minecraft levels of fun. Like pennies per dozens of hours played.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's
so
still a huge
I would
deal.
totally happily pay $30 for this, but yeah, definitely if you're budget conscious, definitely grab it for the 16th.
Yep, exactly. And then they also re-mentioned in there, they said it before, but just to solidify that they do not plan on doing sales like ever.
Mm-hmm.
So just, don't like hold off and then hope for a sale because it's not going to happen. So if you want it cheaper, I guess now is kind of your sale.
Yep. Now's the time.
So yeah, there you go, guys. That's awesome. This is super cool, these screenshots. Do you have anything else to add?
No, nothing else.
All right, cool.
I do find it interesting that they specifically say that 17 is going to probably become 1.0 version. So, because wasn't it last week that they were saying that they might have a 0.18?
Yeah, in fact. So I don't know. That is kind of odd that they state that in the other blog post. Maybe they kind of just changed their mind or something.
Yeah, maybe they were waffling or they finally solidified on certain things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, that should be interesting. I think that's going to do it, guys. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed. Definitely check out the time-lapse, the imagery album. Keep an eye out for the tour video. And I believe that'll do it. Leave your thoughts down below. And until next time, we will catch you later.